Continuing with How the Great Religions Began by Joseph Gaer, Book 2, Religions of China and Japan. Part 1, Confucianism, Teachings of a Great Sage. Xiu Kung once asked, "Is there one word that would cover the whole duty of man?" To which Confucius replied, "Fellow feeling, perhaps, is that word. Do not do unto others what thou wouldest not they should do unto you." Confucianism, Teachings of a Great Sage, Section 1, How the World was Created. Long, long ago, long before the world was created, so the Chinese believe, there was nothing. Nothing! That lasted for a long time. Then something appeared, and out of something, Part1 was created. How long Part1 lived, we are not told. But that he was very big and very strong. That we are told. For when Part1 died, his last groan became the thunder, and his last breath became the wind. His left eye became the sun, and his right eye the moon. The blood of his veins became the rivers, his hair became the forest, and his flesh became the earth. So big and so strong was Part1. All over the world, really, there were these myths of people becoming the landmarks. And that was how, so the Chinese believe, our world was created. Because someone made it up and it was told enough that, oh, this keeps on being said, must be true, right? After that, there were people, like most people of long ago. The Chinese of several thousand years ago were nature worshippers. Maybe not most, but certainly a lot. They believed that the sun and the moon and the wind and the fire and the thunder and the lightning and the mountains and the rivers all had spirits that should be worshipped. Dynamism, or animism, sneaking in. Dynamism is worshipping the power, right? Worshipping the entities that bring the power would be animism, wouldn't it? Over these spirits, as well as over all the people, there was one supreme ruler called Shang-Ti. Shang-Ti was very just. So just was he that no matter how much the wicked prayed to him, he would do nothing for them. But Shang-Ti was not the highest God. The highest and greatest God, so the Chinese believe, was the God of gods called Tian, and he lived in heaven. The way the Chinese found out where Tian, God of gods, lived was really very simple. The rain they needed so badly for the rice fields came from the sky above. The clouds that carried the rain they needed so badly for the rice fields was also above in the sky. The wind that brought the clouds that carried the rain they needed so badly for the rice fields came also from the sky above. The thunder and lightning that opened the clouds, the wind had brought, and that poured down the rain they needed so badly for the rice fields, was also above in the sky. And even the rainbow after the rain, that all could see, but no one could touch, that too was in the sky. Then surely Tian, the God of gods, must also must live above in the heaven. And so the Chinese of long ago worshipped the God of gods. Worshipped the God of gods, so-called, the supreme ruler, who was so very just. And the spirits of the sun, the moon, the rain, fire, thunder, the mountains, and the rivers. They also worshipped the spirits of their ancestors. When a man died, his sons worshipped his spirit. I'm not going to do that. His grandsons, too, worshipped him, and even his great-grandsons and his great-great-grandsons worshipped his memory. Not only did people worship the spirits of their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, but they also worshiped the spirits of all great sages and the national heroes of China. They especially worshipped their emperors, who were considered very holy. I see evidence that in China and elsewhere it was sort of a competition. Oh, well, our lineage goes back further. We're worshipping our ancestor worship is more powerful because it goes back further, and the emperors joined in the thing, and of course they tended to keep the base lineage, and the various cults either founded or attributed to various sages, They especially worshipped their emperors, who were considered very holy. The worship of the spirits of their ancestors is called ancestor worship. For nearly 5,000 years ago, the Yellow Emperor of the Flowery Kingdom built the first temple to the spirit of the mountains and the rivers. After that, many other temples were built in China to many other spirits. Later, one emperor told his people to have music in the temples because, he said, the gods must love music. And the playing of musical instruments, that's for the jinn. The ancestors don't really care. And so, for many, many years, the people of the Flowery Kingdom worshipped